Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Don't worry. I bring you some very good news from Freddie Paxton, confirming that Arsenal are trying to sign 3 more players in this transfer window: a left back, a central midfielder, and an attacker. I will quote him. He says, and an attacker. It doesn't say winger. It doesn't say a left-footed winger. It doesn't say a wide attacker. But then he says, and an attacker. You're going to be having a conversation around that in the comment section. This is your chance to talk to me. Which players do you want in those positions? Central midfield, we are looking at Lucas Paqueta and Yuri Tillemans. Left back, Alejandro Grimaldo and Lisandro Martinez. Both of them on the radar, but according to the latest reports in Portugal, Arsenal now more likely to sign Alejandro Grimaldo. And also now on that attacker, no one is close. Absolutely no one is close. But a couple of names have been mentioned here on the podcast. We have had our thoughts. So let me know which player do you love to see in those positions. Of course, Fabrizio Romano there trashing everything on N'Golo Conte as I expected, and also saying Arsenal have never put in a bid for Edon Zagrova. That bid is never happened. And also, I'll give you something about Lucas Paqueta and what has been said by the agent of the player in the last hours. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the podcast. This is where you'll get the latest Arsenal news with a very, very little deluded Arsenal fan touch. Yeah, it is going to be somehow deluded because I'm an Arsenal fan. But also, let's get this video to 800 likes. Yeah, let's get it to the roofs. Let us smash the like button. Now, let's start off with Fabrizio Romano just to get this out of the way. He has just confirmed that Arsenal have never made a bid for Edon Zagrova. Now, I think this was on Friday when a couple of reports came out and claimed that Arsenal had made a bid for Lille Metropole youngster Edon Zagrova, and the bid was expected to be around 10 to 11 million euros. However, though there is interest, it doesn't deny that Arsenal are interested in the player. But what it's denying is that Arsenal made a bid. He says Arsenal have never made a bid whatsoever for Edon Zagrova. So at the moment, we know from Fabrizio, there is nothing. There is no bid for Edon Zagrova from Arsenal. And then he also says that there are no negotiations whatsoever for N'Golo Conte with Arsenal. Arsenal are not in negotiations with Chelsea. Doesn't again deny the prospect or the possibility that Arsenal could be interested in the player. But it says at the moment, no talks, no negotiations going on. So on those two deals, I think we have the word of the greatest in the transfer market, Fabrizio Romano. No talks with Chelsea for N'Golo Conte, and no approach from Arsenal to the player, but the interest is not denied. And then it doesn't also deny that Arsenal are interested in Edon Zagrova, but it says no, at the moment, no bids in for the player. Now, let's get to the Freddie Paxton story, because that is our title. Now, Freddie Paxton, again, one of those journalists that have just managed to make themselves very, very credible and very, very smart when it comes to Arsenal and the transfer market. He's come out and confirmed that Arsenal are still in the market, very, very alive and kicking, and very, very active. However, this time they're trying to agree deals for 3 players in these 3 positions. One is a central midfielder. Number 2 is a left-sided defender, and then number 3 is an attacker. And that is where we're gonna have our conversation around this video. But I think let's start off with the left-sided defender. I think we know what exactly Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are looking for. Now, today we've been linked with 2 players. One, a German defender, and the other a Spanish defender. That is Alex Grimaldo. And reports in Portugal are saying that Arsenal are very close to signing Alex Grimaldo. A bid has been sent in to Benfica, and we are expecting positive results and positive talk, from Benfica. So what Arsenal and Mikel are trying to do here is we're trying to create a player, two players per position in our squad, something that I really respect. But in terms of the left-sided defender, I think we want someone who can play both at the centre back and also as a left back. Now, two names here have been discussed at large in the last week. That is Alex Grimaldo and Lisandro Martinez. Martinez looks like a very complicated deal for Arsenal to get done, given the fact that he doesn't even know whether he's going to be playing for Man United or Arsenal, and Ajax are still thinking they can keep the player. Now, the time is running down, the clock is ticking, and Arsenal understand at the moment you cannot really fight until the end for Lisandro Martinez. It's better to get an alternative. So, look, Alex Grimaldo or Alejandro Grimaldo, in my opinion, could be the player coming in. Very, very different from Lisandro Martinez, but the similarities, his similarities come in with Joao Cancelo, and I do not think Mikel Arteta can turn down the prospect, the idea of working with a player just as good as Joao Cancelo. Because if you look at the creativity of the lad, last campaign 5 assists, 5 goals. In the 2018-2019 campaign, where he had his best numbers, he created 12 assists and scored. I've forgotten. I've really forgotten. But I think in that game, in that season, he had over 19 goal involvement. So I think he scored around 7 goals and assisted 12 times. So I think when you think about that, he might drop the idea of Lisandro Martinez and just sign Alejandro Grimaldo, just because he can give you that backup to Kieran Tierney, but then he also allows us to play in a 3-4-3 formation, where we play with wing backs rather than with full backs. So I'm very, very positive about that. Now, he also says Arsenal are in the market to sign a central midfielder, and at the moment, 3 names are being discussed closely. Number 1 is Lucas Paqueta. I want to give you the update on Lucas Paqueta right now, because I've talked about him. Now, reports from the agent coming out as saying he cannot deny that Arsenal are interested in the player. However, it is going to be very difficult for the player to leave Lyon for anything below 57 million euros. Arsenal's prepared bid is around 40 million euros, significantly below what Lyon are asking for. So there are 3 names anyway that we are interested in here, and that is in the central midfield. So with Lucas Paqueta, a player who creates a lot, a player who can play in a couple of positions, very, very versatile, and I think a player that is lovable to watch. But the price for me is what is going to throw Arsenal away out of the competition. I don't think Arsenal are going to spend 50 million pounds on Lucas Paqueta. However much we love him, however much we are interested, I don't think Arsenal are going to spend that much on Lucas Paqueta. I will be very, very surprised if we spent it, and I will be willing to spend more than 60 million euros on that guy, because I know what exactly Arsenal would be getting. But I don't want us to lie to ourselves. Paqueta is class. Paqueta is over the top. But I don't see that happen. I don't see Arsenal spend that much to get him. The other is Serge Milinkovic-Savic, also very, very exciting central midfielder, but it's the same problem. 65 million euros, 60 million pounds, for Christ's sake. Who is going to pay that for Serge Milinkovic-Savic, who is 27, and with all this enormous talent flowing everywhere like beans in central midfield, I don't even ask second Arsenal to sign him for that amount. I don't, because at the end of the day, there are so many players that could be even better than him, or maybe not better than him, but can give you what he gives you. Yes, he's a very, very good goal scoring machine, and he's one of the players that I think Arsenal are very, very interested in because of his ability to link play, but also score and create a lot of chances. goal involvement over the top. But the price still, I don't think Arsenal will be paying that. So that leaves us with Yuri Tillemans, Conor Marbos, again, Con Marble Halls. That is the account, right? Again, today confirming that our initial offer for Yuri Tillemans was rejected. There is no hiding about that. We were trying to pay a less kind of upfront fee or guaranteed payments. So what Leicester want is £30 million in guaranteed payments, no add-ons. I'll give you much of that story tomorrow in the morning when I find out more. But one thing I'm gonna tell you about Yuri Tillemans here is, it is he is the most lucrative deal. There is no question. He's the most lucrative deal. Think about it in any way. Think about it from all angles. If Arsenal decided to go for a midfielder, it's going to be Yuri Tillemans. The price is right. The players played in the Premier League. 100% confused about joining Arsenal. Leicester City are selling. Arsenal need a central midfielder. There is not a lot of competition on the deal. Come on, guys. Come on. I just look at this Savic and Paqueta deals as kind of wasting time. I think Arsenal know what they want and they'll eventually get him. I don't think there is anything to waste time around there. No, nothing. Now, the attacker is one that is very, very difficult for us to discuss because what should we talk about here? Who should we talk about here? Maybe if you ask me, Cossy, who should we go for? I've done that video. I've done those videos and I'm tired. Okay, the names that are being fronted at the moment is Moussa Diaby from Leverkusen. I've done a video about him, a video that didn't have audio, by the way. I've reported around Marco Asensio, and also I've reported on Edon Zegrova as well. So the point here, lads, for me is, what kind of player are Arsenal looking for in this market? Are we looking for a winger that is going to come in and have an immediate impact? Are we looking for competition for Bukayo Saka? Because a couple of reports had said Rafinha was coming in as a backup to Saka. That was BS. That was absolute bullshit. There is no way Rafinha comes in at £60 million and he's a backup to Bukayo Saka. Of course, the English media trying to justify the case that Saka is better than Rafinha, right? But I think the profile of what Mikel is looking for is very, very clear here. A wide attacker who can play either on the left or on the right. Someone that is willing to provide as many goals as he can and as many assists as there is to provide. I think that is what we're looking for. And in the last 7 days, names like Edon Zegrova, Marco Asensio, Moussa Diaby, Serge Gnabry all just justify that the same point that Arsenal are looking for that kind of attacker. Arsenal looking for that kind of player, right? So, in my opinion, I don't know who's gonna come here. It's still very, very mysterious, right? Fabrizio Romano told us Arsenal are working closely to get a winger, but he refused to reveal the name until it is safe for him. So, Freddie Paxton, wonderful update, but I think we will need more in terms of clarity. And when clarity comes in, I'll definitely be able to let you know.